All right, welcome everyone. My name is Caroline and I'm on the board of DBSA California. We are going to do the first in a series of workshops with Paula Smeaton, MA, and her bio is Paula is a trauma-informed yoga for mental health instructor carrying an RYT 500 Yoga Alliance certification and an MA in yoga studies from Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles. She's trained in crisis intervention and suicide prevention. She was with the Trevor Project, a suicide and crisis lifeline for LGBTQ plus youth in crisis for 6 years, and currently works as a 988 crisis counselor at D.D. Hirsch Mental Services and as a holistic wellness coach. With that, I would love to pass it over to you, Paula.
Thank you. And now let me open with a question. How can I share my screen?
It looks like it might already be on your screen. You have this beautiful sequoias.
Yes. Oh,
All
it's
right.
already on my screen. Well, magnificent. Boom.
Woo!
Is that it?
I can see it, yeah.
Very good. All right. Now let me just organize my view of you guys. That would be lovely. No, maybe here. No. There you are. Okay. I am ready to rock. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Compass Within. Again, my name is Paula, and I'm so happy that your heart led you to this course today. And that's what we're going to be talking about. I wanted to talk a little bit about why and how I came up with this course. The course is going to be presented in 4 modules. The first one today, we're going to be talking about the heart and how the heart, brain, and gut connection are important to our well-being. Next week, we're going to be talking about the nervous system and how it acts as a fuse box. If you recall, when there's an overload in the house, the fuse goes down, right? So it kind of like protects us from overheating, let's say. So it offers mechanisms that manage stress and whatnot. The third module, I'm going to be talking about building your days in alignment with the life that you would like to live. And the fourth module, I'm going to be talking about how where we put our attention is where our energy goes. It's like driving. It's going to be difficult for me to drive forward if I'm like this. I'm going to run into something. So I definitely need to have, right, my attention steered where I'd like to go. So we're going to be talking about those 4 topics. And then I wanted to tell you, for example, where I came up with the material. In my experience coaching and also taking calls, and we take several calls. I take about 100 to 120 calls a month. So it's a nice little influx of fodder for the thought and for the mind and things that you are noticing in people. So what I notice is that I will ask people lots of times, do you receive any support? And they will say, well, I went to therapy, but it doesn't work. I hear that over 50% of the time. I go to therapy, but it doesn't work. It's da, da, da. And it's not that therapy doesn't work. The thing is that if you think of therapy like anything else, a practice that needs to be done in order for us to see a change. Let's do the analogy of a gym. If I need to lose 20 pounds and I go to the gym once a week and I don't adjust my nutrition, chances are that that I'm not going to be successful losing my 20 pounds going to the gym once. So it needs to be, it's more or less that. There needs to be sometimes more consistency, and then we run into problems where insurance sometimes doesn't cover more than one session. And then that's where this comes in. Because something that I often ask people as well is, what do your days look like? Right? Do you have a self-care routine? And a lot of times they're like, no, I get up and then I just have to go to work and this and that. So that is the most common thing. If you are here watching this call or this video, and you have a self-care routine already, miles ahead of the game. But if you don't, I think you're going to adore this, because it's going to kind of, spoon feed you a couple of really, really effortless practices that you can infuse in your day, anywhere, driving, showering, upon waking up, etc. Most of them will be rooted in a yogic concept, sometimes a little mantra, a little toning. They're also Buddhist based. There'll be a little bit of everything, okay? And then, that said, I wanted to, can everybody see the slides okay? Is everything okay? Give me a little.
We're able to,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. I see a little hand up there. Okay, it was just a, okay. So the course aspirations, the intent of the 4 modules, and I believe that with each one, you're going to be building on a little toolbox that you will have in the end. But the intent is to create awareness of how often one pauses to check in with their body, emotions, or intuition before making decisions. A lot of times we find ourselves a lot more reactive than responsive. So this is like giving you that extra buffer. We're going to discuss that. It's like, oh, okay. It doesn't have to be bah, boom, right? It doesn't have to be 1, 2. It can be, oh, okay. Well, let me sit with that and get back to you. That way we don't get ourselves in or make hasty decisions. Also, to notice when one's daily actions align or don't align with their deeper values. How many times do we commit to something and then we're like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? I don't even like that, or it's not my priority, or I hang out with this family member that it really doesn't do me well. We're just going to align things from a gentler place instead of banning things. Then the intent to create space for stillness, reflection, or mindfulness in one's day. So in everything, to create the space. You don't have to wake up and meditate heavily for an hour and then, go into your day for the rest of the day without doing anything. We're going to be able to zigzag things. And it's going to be very much like eating, actually, like nutrition. You have your bigger meals and then you have your little snacks. That's more or less how we're going, what the format would be. How often do I trust my inner signals, my gut feeling, my energy, my heart when navigating challenges? How often do I recalibrate gently when I feel off course instead of ignoring the signs? So kind of being aware I woke up, I had this dream, or it's that day that's an anniversary that I lost that person, or that I had that divorce, or that I had that difficulty, or it's Thanksgiving, or it's Christmas, it's Mother's Day, something. And that that day is going to require a little extra support. So identifying those days. How often do I set boundaries that honor my needs and my inner compass, which means what my heart is saying? A lot of times the heart whispers, right? The heart whispers, and we shush it a lot. We're like, somebody, I don't know, asks you want to help, do you want to come to this party? And you're like, so don't want to go. And your heart's like, gosh, I really just wanted to watch a rom-com tonight, and you're like, yeah, I'll go, So listening to your heart, right? Listening to your heart, honoring that and the importance of it. And how often do I feel clarity or confidence that I am moving in the direction that I want my life to go in? So that is aligning, building days that will give me this life. Because what is my life? My life, if you think of it like a picture, a pixel, all the pixels in a picture, right, are what makes a picture. So if I want this life of an Olympian athlete, right, and those pixels are going to have a certain tone to them. They're going to have to include certain things. And if I'm aware of the fact how I'm building my days, I can have an idea of what the greater picture is going to be like. That way I don't get to a certain time in my life and I'm like, what? How did I get here? I never wanted any of this, and we find out that we were sitting in the back seat of the car and God knows what was driving that car. We were just doing everything that everybody thought we should be, and we weren't in control. So, all right, let's arrive. I wanted to invite everyone to arrive to this module by connecting to our breath. We're going to do that every time we begin a new module. As it says here, breath is life, and it punctuates the beginning and the end of life. And it will punctuate the beginning of every module. So just for ease, if it is comfortable for you, I will ask that we close our eyes and that we just turn our attention inside for a minute. Maybe deep in our breath. And just see where your breath is falling. Are you breathing from the top of your chest? Are you breathing from your rib cage or from your belly? Notice what parts move when you're breathing. And right now, I would like you to turn your attention to your heart. Feel where your heart is. Feel that space. And then imagine that the membrane that involves the heart is permeable. It's like lots of little nostrils, the whole thing. You can breathe using the whole membrane of your heart. And just try one long breath through your heart. Hold that inhale and allow that heart space to open and release. Just breathe normally a little. Maybe just take your breath to your rib cage in a way that your rib cage expands with the inhale and deflates with the exhale. Try that a few times. Expand the rib cage, hold it, and then release. And going back to the heart, let's go ahead and breathe in through the heart again, a long, deep breath. And as you hold that breath, allow that prana or that energy, that air to circulate all of your body, all of it. It is infusing all of your blood with fresh energy and cleansing that blood so that now when you exhale, you release all of the weight, anything that is weighing on your mind, on your heart. And let's just do that a few times at our own pace. Go ahead, inhale, allow the pranic energy, the light, to energize your blood, to cleanse it. Release anything that no longer serves you, that's weighing you down. And then just one more. Really try to hold your inhale, really expand, and then release. Keep the eyes closed just a little. And now, as you very slowly start bringing your attention to your eyelids, and maybe just slowly opening your eyes again, I wonder if you could give me an adjective or two. If you pay attention to your body now, how would you say your body feels? If you could drop those in the chat box, that would be lovely. And then Amy, if you could read those back, that would be awesome. Thank you.
Calm, more present, chill, spaciousness, warm, loose, still, grounded,
Mhm. Grounded,
whole.
maybe centered. Did you read one more?
Oh, whole.
Whole.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful.
And we have on edge.
On it. Yeah. Like something's about to. You know, sometimes, sometimes we feel like the oxygen also, we feel like that expansion. And sometimes we do feel on edge. Sometimes like, what is about to happen? Something, we're stepping into my heart here. And it's interesting, we're going to talk about this, but we tend to see the heart like an organ, like the liver or the kidney, or it's not a space that we inhabit a lot. And this was a first connection with the heart of inhabiting the heart, really going in there and seeing what's in there, kind of closing your eyes and having a look inside. It's kind of like you lived in a house Or maybe you just, and then you go outside and all of a sudden you find a new door and there's a new room in that house, and that's the heart. And now we're going to start to furnish it, and we're going to start to make it our space, and it's going to be our comfort zone. It's going to be our little cave. And it's going to be wonderful. And we're going to like develop this little relationship with our heart. And yeah, all right. Anybody have anything else that they want to say before we move to the next slide? While you think, I'm going to read the quote, which says, "The longest journey you will ever take is from your head to your heart." That's a Sioux proverb. All right. Let's move on. So, your heart knows. What I wanted to talk about, first of all, let's take our attention to these sentences which were taken from studies. The sources are mentioned here on the right-hand side of the screen. Some of you might be familiar with the Heart Math Institute. If you aren't, I highly recommend that you go there and check it out. They have free courses as well and exercises, and well, it's a whole universe of resources as well, dealing with this system of the heart, the brain, the heart, and the gut. Then the second one is an article in a psychology magazine, which talks about a study as well, and McCready, which is and Atkinson. These are researchers from the Heart Math Institute as well, and they too have this study about coherence, self-regulation, and resilience. So when we talk coherence in the heart, what they do is they hook up your heart, and they're hook up your finger, actually, is what they do. And they start seeing your heart waves. And the more coherent they are, the more centered and grounded and equipped you are to deal with things. And so let's read the first one. The heart is not just a reactive organ, but an active communicator that can influence how our brain processes emotion, attention, and coherence. Practices that promote heart coherence, like positive emotion cultivation and mindfulness, are backed by neuroscience. So they are effective in creating a coherent heart. Research illustrates how the heart communicates back to the brain through multiple pathways: neurological, biochemical, biophysical, and energetic. And then, when the heart is in a coherent rhythm, steady, sign-like patterns, this state fosters improved mental clarity, emotional stability, and cognitive performance, providing a foundation for better decision-making and resilience. So all of this to say, this is the heart. The heart is the center of this system: brain, heart, gut. The head brain has 86 billion neurons. The neurons are transmitters. So they are communicating the whole time, sending electrical signals, and they're sending information, right? So they're processing. The heart does the same, but it is equipped with 40,000 neurons. So considerably less neurons, but it has its own little nervous system, which we will be discussing next week. And that little nervous system, it too, it's firing. Neurotransmitters are taking how I'm feeling, mood regulators, telling my brain, right? This is how we are. And then the gut has 100 million neurons embedded. And so it too is very active, sending signals. And with that, let me just move. I believe it's in the next one. No, it's not. I wanted to skip one just to give you this quote, which says, research suggests that when we experience a gut feeling or a heart knowing, it is not metaphorical. It's our distributed intelligence at work. So we do, here, let me go back. There. So we do, our gut feeling is true. And it is, our gut is signaling to our heart. And I'm wondering, and we can kind of just do a show of hands with our hands, really, if you'd like. But if you've ever felt that you had a gut feeling that you did listen to, have you ever had a gut feeling that you're like, oh my gosh, yes, right? And have you ever had the opposite? The gut feeling that you're like, no, not, yeah, I know I hear that. I know I shouldn't eat this, but I'm going to eat it. I know I shouldn't do it, but right? We have all been there. And how many times have we been like, oh my gosh, why didn't I listen to myself? And I'll tell you why we don't listen to ourselves. For the same reason we don't listen to our liver. It's an organ and it's doing its thing and it's over there. This is how we've been, right? This is the perspective that we've been taught. But actually, you can create a relationship not only with your heart, but with all of your organs. But we will get there. So the next slide that I brought up, the heart connection. Given the opportunity, our heart and our brain work together to help us regulate our emotions, build resilience, and even recover from trauma. In this part of the first module, learn how to create this coherence and feel some effects instantly. So we're going to do another exercise. All good? So again, if it's comfortable for you, let's close our eyes. Ideally, just have your feet uncrossed at the floor, sit straight, right? Couple of deep breaths. Just take your gaze within, turn your attention within. And behind your closed eyes, take your gaze to what we call our third eye, or the point between our eyebrows, a little bit higher. If you take it high enough, your eyes might even flutter a little. Your eyelids might even flutter. And that might be just before it flutters is where you want it to be. Keep breathing. Just keep looking out through the window. You can literally see a little window there or a big window. You're the boss. Look out there. And just see how this window leads into your brain. See that in your mind's eye. Oh, wow. This window actually If some light were to come in through this window, imagine that light flooding my brain. Just bringing my awareness to what that light can bring. Very good. And now moving, we're going to keep that window open. And we're just going to take another little portion of our awareness and move it to our heart by placing our left palm in the middle of our chest or on top of our heart. And just breathe. And now take your right hand and put it just under your belly button there, on top of your belly. And just take a minute to visit the window. See the light coming in through the window in your third eye. Feel the breath. The heart is breathing through its full membrane. And the belly is comforted. It's comforted by our touch. I'm safe. I'm safe. Feel the safety in connecting to your gut. And now maybe draw a line going from your root chakra or from under where your belly is and just come up. Draw the line through the heart all the way up and out the top of your head. And now that's going to become a lightsaber. That's it. That's it. Allow that light to seep from the saber into every cell of your body, doing its job, doing what not even we know that we need. Let's release the need to control. What do I need to do? No, my heart knows. There's intelligence within, and I am invoking that intelligence. That intelligence right now is traveling through that lightsaber and into every cell of my body. I'm just going to take a few expanding breaths. And when I say expanding, feel like you're growing. 3 expanding breaths at your pace. And on your 3rd breath, when you're done, go ahead and just put your hands in your lap, both of them. Go ahead and close your little window for now. Just come back within. Take your awareness to your eyelids. And go ahead and just slowly come back into the classroom. And let's assess what would be an adjective or two to describe how you're feeling right now. If you could kindly drop that in the chat box. And remember, there's no wrong answer because this is your universe. Your universe. Amy, when you're ready to read those, that would be great.
Calm, relaxed, hopeful, peaceful, not anxious.
Mhm.
At ease,
Sometimes I feel a little fizzy, almost like a fizzy drink. You know, it feels like something's activated in there. I don't know if anybody felt that at all. But while we're waiting in the event that there are any new words coming in, I wanted to read this quote by Lao Tzu. At the center of your being, you have the answer. You know who you are, and you know what you want. It's an interesting thing because what happens is we're used to one-way communication. We're used to saying, I want this, or I need that, or da, da, da. But like I said, when we listen, when we open up this connection, you receive so much intelligence from within. And a lot of times, the intelligence that we receive within does not match what our mind is saying, you know? I'm going to move forward now, but I have things to say about that. Any more words in the chat, or should I move on?
nothing new at this moment.
All right. 3 brains, 1 network. Neuroscientists sometimes refer to the head brain, heart brain, and gut brain. Each has its own complex network of neurons, neurotransmitters, and signaling pathways, and each plays a role in decision-making, mood, and intuition. So mood is an interesting thing because what happens is if you remember when you're stressed, when you're nervous, when you're anxious, when you receive a really bad piece of news, you can usually that's going to reflect in your body. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that thing just came over me like this wave, a shock wave, or it was like a cold shower, or it was like somebody punching me in the stomach, or I felt like I was going to be sick, right? There's a lot of gut related, heart as well. My heart sank, right? We feel pain in the heart. So that signals, that's sending to the neurotransmitters, which is signaling to hormones as well. And so all of this is impacting our mood, and stress and trauma can disrupt this communication. And when the communication is disrupted, this creates anxiety because something's off, right? Because all of a sudden there's this disconnect. So that kind of explains why sometimes anxiety is flipped on and never flipped off. No matter what we do, it just, my God, I'm anxious all day. Like I'm anxious the whole time, right? I can't, even if I'm doing this, even if I'm doing that. Aligning this system and switching it on, bringing it online is going to impact that. So coherence techniques and yoga help restore this communication by restoring balance in between them. So in that said, I wanted to address yoga really quickly because a lot of people are like, I don't get it, yoga. But the big thing about yoga and regulating mood is that every yoga asana is regulating your vagus nerve. And so it very much, the vagus nerve runs through those three. And we will be talking about that when we talk about the nervous system. But that's why yoga, so it's not a myth. Now, there's yoga and there's yoga. There's the yoga that you have at a gym, which is with loud music, and it's kind of like, right? I think everybody has kind of experienced that, where you don't even have time to get in a pose and the teacher's already putting you in another pose. And then there's a slow flow. When I say yoga, I mean slow flow. I don't mean your regular gym class that is fast paced, slow. All right. So heart focused practices sync up this system. That is the reasoning behind doing these practices and the practice that we just did. And I wanted to bring your attention to this this link where there's a wonderful article about the heart and gut connection. Originally, I had planned to give you a fillable PDF to go with this course. There's a possibility that at the end of the course, we'll have that ready, and that'll be kind of your booklet, which will turn into your toolbox. I'll have all of this in there. But for now, what I can do is share these links in the chat box in a while. And then you guys can copy them and have a look if you feel like. Okay? Let me just ask if anybody is okay. Is everybody okay out there? Everybody okay? Yeah? Feeling good? All right. We're moving into a practice called the metta meditation. And it comes from a Buddhist practice. And you might have heard a quote that says, "My religion is kindness," when they ask the Dalai Lama his religion, because they don't really have Buddhism as a religion, right? They consider it more a protocol, let's say. So, all right, the power of kindness. Kindness is a heart feeling. It transcends logic and is known for its power to connect, protect, and heal. Not only when offered to others, but especially when extended to ourselves. I think that's really important. Think about when you're scrolling or when you're anywhere and you see an act of kindness. It kind of melts our heart. Doesn't it warm our heart? Warm, by the way, is one of the words that I saw in the chat box, right? Warm, after we did a balancing breath. So kindness warms our heart, and therefore it can be considered a coherence practice, right? So here's what we're going to do. Everyone is muted, so you can say your phrases out loud. And also, if you're around people and you don't want to, you can say it mentally. Ideally, you will close your eyes because that sends us within. And then I will say phrase by phrase, and you will repeat it. All right? First, we're going to do it for ourselves. So let's close our eyes if it's comfortable for you. Take a deep breath. And just drop into your heart again. See how much space that occupies. How big is the heart? It might be, they say it's more or less the size of my fist, but sometimes it feels bigger, especially when I breathe into it. Let's breathe into our heart once. Here we go. And let's begin. May I be safe. Repeat. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Now bring to mind someone you love. If you can't decide who, bring together a group picture. You can just make that picture in your mind if you'd like. And we're going to say, may you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And then bring somebody that you have been having a difficulty with, or someone that you feel that's a bit of a challenge. And bring that person to mind. And let's repeat. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And now let's see the globe, see humanity everywhere. I don't know, maybe in your mind you can build one of those Nat Geo globes with the little people standing all around it. But we're going to send love to all beings. And we're going to repeat, may you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. That we can cross our hands over our heart. Just feel that a little. Feel that kindness. And maybe take a breath through the membrane of your heart. And allow that kindness, when you exhale, to go into your bloodstream. Kindness is in all of my cells. Maybe bring a little Buddha smile, a Mona Lisa smile, or just that little smile that is yours and only yours to your face. And then just take another heart-centered breath before you rest your hands on your lap. Take your attention to your eyelids. And then just come back slowly. Very good. In your time. I'm going to read this quote by Blaise Pascal. The heart has reasons that reason does not understand. And then I prepared some contemplative prompts. So these are kind of like a journal prompt. They can double as a journal prompt as well. Something that I wrote in my notes for slide 1, and I never said, was give people the time to fetch paper, pen, tablet, or notes, something to write on. So I'm really sorry that I didn't do that, but here I am, giving myself the grace. And if you have the time and you can go get something to write with, write on your note app, or, open up a window, whatever works best for you. Why do I say that? Because I think that at the end of these, it would be interesting to jot down a few little ideas, but we're going to do them. I'm going to do one now, probably, because I would like to keep the presentation to about an hour, so we have a few minutes for questions. So let's just do one first. Let's close our eyes. Go ahead and place your feet uncrossed on the ground, and maybe reach up with the top of your head, tuck your chin in a little. And remember that lightsaber. That lightsaber right there. Let's light up the lightsaber. Zzz. Right? Whatever color saber you would like. All right. Complete the following in your mind, behind closed eyes. When I quiet my mind and listen to my heart, I hear. When I quiet my mind and listen to my heart, I hear. A moment when my heart guided me was. A moment when my heart guided me was. And I think I'm going to choose. My heart just knows that. My heart just knows that. Right? If you want, take a minute to jot those things down. Or you can share something in the chat box. That would be lovely. Do we have anything in the chat box yet?
Let's see. I see. I should keep fighting to want to live.
Wow. Did anybody else feel that? That just shot into my heart.
Mm.
It's amazing the heart coherence
Mm.
that is created, because I've done this exercise before, and before I said something, the person even said, I felt that, and I had felt that they had felt that. It's like we're creating a field. Wow, that's amazing. Anything else?
Called to listen to lessons from nature.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I'm going to be all right despite intense emotions.
Mm. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? So true.
And someone says, my heart says clearly, keep doing the work. You've got it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And someone says, my heart feels love and it feels pain.
Mm. I'm so happy about that comment because that is important because our heart is now going to be our little space. We need to allow ourselves to be fully ourselves. So, you know how some people build the little man cave or the woman cave and they have their watch their games and they're like whoop, down there and drinking beer or whatever you do in a cave. This is your little heart cave. So you need to allow yourself to feel pain because things hurt. Things hurt. And expecting me to override pain is like expecting myself to cut myself and not bleed. It's the same thing.
Mm.
I'm going to bleed and I'm going to feel pain. And that's okay because I accept myself fully. I'm not going to go in at this time, but a great thing, if you have ever heard of it, EFT tapping, right? So then it's like, even though I feel, pain and sorrow, or I feel like I can't anymore, I love and I accept myself fully. That's the statement. So you might want to jot that down too. Even though I feel blah, 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 I love and accept myself fully. It's just, I have to. If I don't, who is if I don't? All right. So hopefully I gave you enough time on this slide. But like I said, I have all of this written and I'm just trying to make it a fillable PDF that I can share. But if that doesn't happen, I will send it as is and you can print it. I was just trying to do a fillable PDF because it's, it works nicely, but let's see. Anything else in the box, Amy, or should I move on?
Yeah. I hear an underlying discontent and discomfort, and my heart knows that my practices are fruitful and will continue to be.
Good one. All right. Is that it for now then?
Yeah, just questions about PDFs, but we'll get to that later.
We will. With that, I just want to thank you from the membrane of my heart. The whole thing, not the bottom, the top, or the side, but just thank you that you're here, that you showed up. Possibly we will do this for the next 4 weeks, and it'll just be a wonderful journey. And if you know somebody that would benefit from this course, maybe they could watch this on YouTube because it's going to be on the DBSA channel, and then join us next week. It's going to be a pretty beautiful journey. And like I said, we're going to be building a toolbox, it's going to be good. Just to read the final conclusion here, just as a compass points us into the direction we're looking to go in, our heart can do the same when we tune it to the direction in which we want to go. The intention was to help you tune into your true desires and set your inner compass to point you in that direction. And that's that. All right. I just want to let you know that next week we're going to be talking about the nervous systems, each one of them, and all of that. But with that, I open for